And they have the Purge, the Fissure, Crush, Bash, Shackle. I mean, that's where having like a melee carry can sometimes work against you, just because they have to be more in the middle of things and they're more likely to be tanking all those stuns. But I'm curious to see how the Wraith King works. The lifesteal doesn't seem hugely valuable this game. You don't really have anyone who's a heavy right clicker, so I don't think the aura comes into play too much. Feels like it's probably mostly just about the reincarnation, and perhaps the idea here for Empire is like he can just go in first with the snowball, soak up a bunch of damage, maybe get that first kill, and then Storm can really bide his time and wait for the right moment to come in and go for some pickoffs.
I just can't help but feel like what happened to Gyrocopter? Never picked, never banned, seemed like a silent staple even when Gyrocopter was not the flavor of the month.
This game he did get banned, but yeah, he definitely has fallen off in general.
Oh. Yeah,
he got banned second stage, I believe.
Makes sense. I guess a team like Empire, I guess nonetheless, you want to make sure he's kind of out of the equation. But yeah, it just seemed like he was always, him and Undying were like the top two banned pick, and all of a sudden one of them kind of falls off a bit. But here we go. Before we get introductions underway, I want to shoot some love to 4 Clovers and Leprechaun's courier, the Potato Dreamer, apparently. So I bet that's EGM's. I don't know why that tickled me so much.
It just hit you in all the right locations. I've never seen this courier before, actually. What is it called? Is that actually the name of it?
No, it's not. It's not. I don't know. Looks like something out of Lost in Space. I don't know.
Next to the fence. Oh. The Haunted Unusual Great Helm with the long name, people.
What?
Is that the real name of this courier? What?
Potato Dreamer sounds better.
What the I've never seen this. Am I the only person who hasn't seen this before?
I have seen it once before. I actually almost got it just because I had never seen it before, and I'm like getting stuff that people don't see very often. But yeah, that's. Right. I'm curious to see what it looks like when it flies.
Okay, we've missed the whole like pre-rune skirmish, so quickly recapping, 1 bounty rune for each team. We'll introduce the teams right now. Empire leading 1-0 in the best of 3. Aloha Dance on your Tusk. Resolution, the Storm Spirit heading towards mid. Yoki will be playing that off-lane clock, already doing a bit of cog blocking. And puts Always Wanna Fly on the top lane. Support Winter Wyvern, and Silent handling the Wraith King.
4 Clovers, top lane, we got Sexy Bambo. Not feeling so sexy. He's getting harassed to high hell out from his off-lane position on his Bloodseeker. And you can already see the potential. Always Want to Fly, zoning back. That long-range Arctic Burn just does so much damage in a fantastic slow. Set up with a stun. Bambo might have to play a bit more in reserve. Along mid lane, you have EGM playing your Earthshaker, just kind of being in your defensive support. For Wagamama, who's playing your Wind Ranger, just in case someone was to kind of roll by as we saw Tusk earlier. Bottom lane, to round things out, Weeha's going to be playing your farming Slardar, and he's going to get assistance from Vanscore on your Shadow Demon.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the off-lane Bloodseeker works. I haven't seen it that often in that role. We've seen primarily just the safe lane farming Bloodseekers, occasionally that kind of jungle or 4-position type Bloodseeker support. This is not his normal role. Now, he is fairly flexible here that can rotate to the jungle fairly early on, and it looks like Bambo's going to do just that. Gets the Quelling Blade, heads into the woods. They'll just leave the Shaker here to try to get what experience he can for EGM in the offlane, and it's not the ideal start for a Bloodseeker. Like, if you want to go woods, you'd rather have that stout off the bat, but he should be A-okay getting the Quelling Blade and having his level 2 already.
Yeah. They're forfeiting the lane. It's nice for EGM because he'll be able to get some solo farm, but that means it's someone who's not going to be there to assist Waga in case trouble does show up. Luckily for Wind Ranger, she always has her Wind Run to kind of step away. But this also means on the other side, Yoki, very aggressive here. He's got 6 CS already. It's a fantastic start for your off-lane solo Clockwork. And what I was expecting to be a bit of trouble. I mean, Shadow Demon is notoriously one of the best zoners in the game, but he's obviously been working with the pull camps instead, so Weehaw could kind of work near the tower and not overstretch his boundaries. But here we go. Disruption, Soul Catcher into a stun. This is going to be a wealth of damage here. Is enough to make it away. They want to stay close to him, that even if he cogs, they'll be right there next to him and ready to go. That's why Weehaw is just saying and hugging him, and there you see it's going to pay off. So he's going to quickly break out from the cogs, make a run. But here comes Aloha Dance. Nice barricade, but it's not enough damage and not enough lockdown to get the returning blow.
Meanwhile, Resolution caught out at the top rune. There's no more mana here in Waga. Oh, he actually has a bottle charge. Looking for the power shot. If he finds it, he'll get him. There's the kill. 2 hero kills in a row and a first blood going for 4 Clovers.
This is a huge boost for a Wind Ranger in the mid lane. Maybe almost just kind of predicting calling out the rotation towards that top rune. But very nicely played. This puts the Storm Spirit off quite a bit. It's going to be forced to TP back to lane with that extra investment. But for now, has his bottle. Same goes for Waga, who's not looking to ship and fly his bottle out quite yet. Just going to be holding with this low mana, but that means Aloha Dance is here, and he's going to be snowballing right in. Can they get the return kill that they desperately need? Very nice block from Aloha Dance. Sets up for the easy-peasy kill. Redemption just like that for Resolution, and Empire get themselves on the board.
Yeah, big kill. Resolution, now with that kill, firmly in the lead here mid. He was already up heavily on CS. The kill pretty much made it an even lane, if not a Wind Ranger advantage one, but now gets a little bit back in the driver's seat as we'll see Yogi trying to steal some experience and some creeps here bottom. Bankscore, though, goes for the disruption. Weehaw can't really get in range, but Bankscore will grab that double damage rune, and with that, Yoki, going to be a sad clockwork.
And Resolution got the top rune as well, so he gets a nice little bounty to fill up. Looks like he's going to head to the woods. There's already a couple of stacks built up for this Storm Spirit to get a nice head start.
The Wild Wing just chilling with his wings like mid-flap.
Yeah, let's get on it, Valve. My immersion is broken. But
completely falling apart.
Aloha Dance has been chilling in the spot for quite a while. Maybe hoping that EGM will show his face, and they're going to get an easy pick on him. But EGM, very defensive, knows that this Tuskar has been off the radar for quite a while.
I didn't see if he smoked. I don't think so. But at the same time, EGM was just kind of running around in the woods there, so maybe he didn't actually know. Either way, like you said, great positioning. This is going to make it very hard to go. Meanwhile, bottom, though, Yoki almost finished off there. His disruption into the Soul Catcher. They got off the crush, but didn't quite have the follow-up. And again, it's the TP support from Empire that's helping to keep these heroes from feeding too much.
They're making their move onto EGM, maybe seeing the skirmish that broke out bottom. They feel comfortable making this kind of a dive. They're going to scout him out with the Sigil, and now EGM has to find a way out, but he's not going to get it. Snowball on forward, and it's going to be Silent who gets the last strike. Plus, they're going to be able to follow it up with a quick Tier 1 takedown. Will he get the last hit? Yes, he will. This Wraith King, nice boost. He already has power treads and 1,200 gold saved up. I have not seen Silent play this core Wraith King in quite a while. I'm curious to see what he's going to build up. I guess I'm just used to seeing the classic Shredder Wraith King where he likes to rush a Radiance. I wonder if it's something Silent ever considers.
That's one of those ones where it's like, okay, got to get your compendium coins, you know, need to make sure that you meet the challenge, but outside of that, really don't see it very often. The Radiance Wraith King definitely can work. I doubt we'll see it this game. I'm thinking more likely if he goes for a greedier item, it's like the Midas first, but we'll have to wait and see. Bankscore getting caught out, does go for the defensive disruption play, but has nothing else in the tank, and Resolution able to find his first kill here over in the bottom lane, and now we'll rotate back on mid.
Yep, good first rotation. Certainly helps to have that rune to boost, and even Always Want to Fly helping out with this bottom lane now, so putting more priority in assisting this Clockwork a bit, or maybe hoping to bait something out. For now, he'll just kind of hold the amp damage and work with what he's got. He's very close to level 6, so if he wants to get proactive, it's not going to be too far off. And for Weehaw, he starts with the power treads. We'll see if he goes right for the blink thereafter. No bump from the Cog is going to be coming. Always Want to Fly, instead plants pretty nice aggressive obs ward here. Looks like it will help block out the camp, and he'll just kind of assist and meet up with Aloha Dance here. But it looks like bottom is going to be the target. They want to kind of keep the Slardar in check.
They are making their way in. Always Want to Fly. Looking for that initiation. Does not have his ultimate yet. And neither does Aloha Dance. So they'll have to do this one the good old-fashioned way. They're going to try for it, though.
They saw him.
Hook shot. They're going in regardless.
Yeah, disruption saved, but they're going to still follow it up. They will. Very nice Ice Shard's going to block, but still under the tower. Weehaw wants to man up. Going to get the Cold Embrace, though, to save him. Here comes Resolution. Ice pulling on forward. They could get the grab. No, they can't. Beautiful Shackle set up from Waga with his own rotation in. And they're just going to quickly drop two. It commits all hands on deck here from the side of 4 Clovers, but it might pay off with a third kill onto Always Want to Fly. They got it. Sexy Bamboo is going to be claiming that one. Yoke turning back for some reason. He's going to get dropped, and now it's 4. Only Silent alive because he's on the other side of the world. Oh, that did not go the way Empire thought.
Silent maybe going for that early Blade Mail. This is great against Rupture, if you get Ruptured. I'm not sure that he's going to be the target for that, but I think it's an early Blade Mail. I guess it could be a Battle Fury or Rush. You're certainly not going crit. I'm guessing Blade Mail Rush here for the Wraith King, and this is the point when you have a fight like that where you're like, yeah, maybe the Wraith King is going to need to do some heavy lifting. Maybe that Midas or Radiance build would have been what they need to turn this one around. But no, he's up to 1,000 gold now, still sitting on a bunch of it. We'll see. Maybe Silent decides after that fight that he's got to go for more of a farming build.
Props to Waga. That rotation shackle shot saved
That was
Weeha's
just a
life.
great fight.
Yeah. Okay, Bambo, pretty low here. And we got an invis Aloha Dance, so convenient timing for Bambo. Finishes the camp just in time to walk away. But if he stops for this one, they see him from the high ground, he could be in trouble. Now, they do have EGM nearby with a fissure, but they're going to make the committed jump. Can EGM turn around with a fissure to help him out? We'll see. He's waiting for it here. They're going to get it, but the snowball already went off, and they're going to be getting the finishing blow. So Bambo's going to be dropped. Empire move up to now 5, still below the 6. 4 Clovers here, but it's an extra kill for them nonetheless. And Tusk is getting closer to that level 6, so you get that a little bit of extra lockdown, and of course extra burst potential. And of course Wyvern, once he's able to get his level 6, that's where things can get a bit sketchy. But for now, always want to fly a bit behind as far as XP. I guess he's just been too mobile across this map to find some selfish time to farm up some extra levels.
Blade Mail complete, and the level 6s are coming here. Tusk about level 5 and a quarter. Always want to fly close to his own 5. They really need these support level 6s, and then I think we're going to see Empire just look for a lot of fights. Nobody is going greedy with their itemization. No Bloodstone Rush here for Resolution. In fact, looks like he will be going into the Orchid right away with the extra robe of the Magi picked up, and that does suggest that they just want to fight Dakota. They've got a ward here on EGM, perhaps looking for the jump in from the Storm. Now he's going to ball. He waits for the Fissure to be cast to block the creep wave and then makes his move and aggressively doesn't finish the job, though, and all of a sudden, Resolution's got to back up because guess who's come? It's Waga with the rotation shackles there. 2 points in the shackle already. Not enough to get the kill, but does good damage. More rotations. The Fissure missed time, doesn't actually connect as Aloha Dance is brought low, but not quite finished off. Your Bloodseeker, unable to find him just yet, has the Rupture, and well, with that, he's got him.
Yeah,
Aloha Dance will be
the
lone death.
For quite a while, and I'm sure that kind of raises a flag that there's a very aggressive ward here very early in the game. Empire tried to make the most out of that ward. They put it down, I believe, after they'd taken that tier 1 the top. And they were using it to see if they get a pick onto EGM. So I'd imagine 4 Clovers now have an idea that it's there, but it's bottom lane that Weeha is going to get the blow. Taking out Always Want to Fly. A nice, clever kill. Led in, of course, and helped from EGM.
Man, what a play by Weeha there. So he goes in on the Clockwork because he just got his Blink Dagger. Blinks him, amps him, crushes him, brings him down quite low. And then it looks like Clock might have outplayed him because Yoku baits him into the tower. As soon as Weeha sees the TP, he doesn't run. He keeps on going, and he's like, okay, I should get out. Gets hooked on the way out, and then all of a sudden, the Wyvern shows up. And so normally you just try to run the hell away there, but he actually sticks around, ends up getting the Wyvern kill, and then blinks out in the nick of time. That was just great play and mathcraft by Weeha, basically, to know the limits of his hero. And that's where if Wyvern's level 6, different fight. At that point, he gets completely wrecked, but able to take advantage of these slightly underleveled supports for Empire, and with that, things looking pretty good here for 4 Clovers, honestly. An even game so far, but that is with Empire having the 1 tower advantage as far as gold goes. And I mean, they were running a rather weak offlane. The Bloodseeker was there, then the Shaker. Now they're going to find Yoki, Blink Crush, and looks like a Clockwork that may die. He's got a Haster, and he goes back in with Battery Assault, gets Soul Catcher, and then walks into a Fissure. Yoku expecting backup that he's not going to find. Meanwhile, Wraithkin trying to find Waga. May get this kill.
Oh, there's a nice Rupture for Aloha Dance. Silent looking to move on in. Still has his ultimate, obviously, so they're going to save him for last here so they can finish him twice in a row. So with that, they could get 3, but look who shows up. Always Want to Fly. Has the Winter's Curse. Uses it on Devanscore. Not a lot of damage there. Waga going to eat the stun, but he's able to make it back and away. Nice 2-man Fissure coming out from EGM, and they're going to get the assassinating shot to finish up His Majesty. Always Want to Fly. Soon to fall, making him work for it, though, with the Cold Embrace, and it's going to be another 4-man takedown. They do end up getting Waga at the end of it, but here comes Yoku. Shows up. Resolution as well with the Ball Lightning. Can they get the catch onto Weeha? Low mana. Do they know EGM is here? They do. They ball lightning on in. They're going to get the pullback, and they're going to get the finish. All right, they end up turning what was a 4-for-1 into now a 4-for-2.
Still, overall, another great fight for 4 Clovers and Empire. Normally, this team excels in skirmishes. Like, they're generally very good at being on the same page, going in at the right time, having very clear focus fire, like who do we want to target, but it just wasn't the case there. Clock goes in really early, didn't have the backup, dies even with the haste rune, where normally he could have just run away, and this wasn't really their fight. They're feeling quite rusty. And you mentioned, well, they haven't really played many events at all, let alone big events over the past couple months, especially compared to the other top teams. And I feel like the rust is showing a little bit, Dakota. Still, 4 Clovers playing well and taking advantage, and now they're going to smoke. They also saw 3-4 Empire heroes rotate in bottom because they do have this lane ward. They may be able to ambush everybody at the side shop.
It would be big if they do, because Wraith King does not have an ultimate. There's no Winter's Curse, and it might be Resolution. What a nice little jump. Is going to avoid the stun, avoid the fissure, and just say, see you later. Whew, quick reaction for Resolution.
He had no vision of that either. They were smoked. He did up a ward, but the heroes that were near the ward were still smoked. Now they're going to go in, try to turn this one around. The Shackle fight Tuda. This could be big. Yoku trapped within. They're going to snowball into the cogs where Weeha's going to look to turn it, but he gets quickly cursed and dealt with out of the fight off the bat. This is the type of skirmish you expect from Empire. They'll bring down a third. Everybody on the run. Empire just surging in on the back of Silent. Can he find that first stun on Waga? Waga turns back. He wanted the Shackle. He's going to find only Silent, but now the shards come out. That may discourage any further pursuit. There will be a power shot soon, but got to be careful about the snowball dodge potential here. Bloodseeker, very fast. Silent, though, has the blade mail. That's also something to be concerned about. Shackle won't connect. The Silence coming out. The power shot there. Beautiful fissure. Hems them in from the side of EGM. Now trying to bring down Aloha Dance. Can't get the last auto attack. Always want to fly, however, will pay the Piper. And they just stuck around too long. Empire, the second you're like, okay, now they're finally firing on all cylinders, they get a little cocky, a bit over-aggressive, and ends up only being an okay fight for them in the end.
They're lingering a little too long there at the end. They got that triple kill. It's time to be happy with that and go. But, mid lane now. They're going to make a jump on Yoku here. Set up with this Crush and the Silence to follow. Easy pickings there. And just when we're trying to get Empire back into the game with a big triple kill, they're going to hand over even more to 4 Clovers. But we saw the same thing in the last game. 4 Clovers, maybe you question how much they're getting out of the laning phase, if they're actually farming even better, but then they seem to execute stronger in these team fights. And then, it was Empire, of course, who came back in the end. But here we go. Now they're another one in this mid lane. They lead in with a fissure. Bambo has Rupture ready to go. Drops the blood right. Might not even need to use it here. And they get a second kill in this mid lane. Another setup, and now Waga is onto a killing spree for his Wind Ranger.
Empire just keep on getting picked off. One at a time they walk in, and one at a time they fall down. Just giving up kill after kill, and it's not really the type of game where a farm Storm can just take over. Sometimes you see those games where it's like, man, they have no solutions for Storm. They don't have reliable stuns. They can't pierce BKB, so if he ever gets it, you're screwed. Or you don't have a silence of any kind. But, 4 Clovers can easily deal with a farm Storm. They have everything they could possibly need. Heavy physical damage, great single target initiation, BKB piercing disables, all kinds of damage, magic and physical, and reliable setup. So you can't just count on Resolution to carry this one. And speaking of which, gets caught out, the Silence going to come through, and yep, that used to be a Storm Spirit. Third pickoff in a row. It's just too easy right now for 4 Clovers.
Yeah, for a team that you question how their communication is going to be and how they're going to be able to synergize, they seem to be making it work. They lead in with the Weehaw stun, sets up for a very easy Blood Right, and time for Waga if he wanted to set up a Shackle shot. And as evasive as you could be on this Team Empire, you're not going to be going far. Mid lane, you're going to see the last finishing blow is they're going to take down Vanscore, but it's going to cost them Aloha Dance in exchange. Silent looking to move in, does have the ultimate, but they get the stun lead in. They always want to fly. It's Wagu also gets the blow, and it's another disaster potentially for Empire here. They already lose 3 in exchange for the 2. Waga already trying to unload onto Yoku, but not the biggest amount of damage. Silent happy to man up here, just charges on forward, but they get the backline stun onto Yoku because Resolution, though, shows up in time, charges on in, gets the finishing hit onto Waga. Now they want Weehaw. Looks like they'll be able to get it with the pullback, but the stun is there to finish off Yoku. So with that, Weehaw looking to sprint make his retreat. Resolution has no mana to make chase. Silent doesn't want to lose his ult, but will have to. EGM catches him with the fissure. Vanscore, oh, nice little disruption before the stun flies out, and now Silent, thinking about walking back, gets the purge. Vanscore is just teasing him right here, and he might be in trouble himself. Gets blocked out. Very nice ice barricade. An uppercut to follow, and he is just knocked out.
And that was a particularly emphatic uppercut from the Tusk of Aloha Dance. And they'll finally get the tower in the end. Empire, they just won't give up. They just keep on running at 4 Clovers, and this time it pays off. Very nice armlet toggling there in the middle of the fight by Silent. And when he runs at them, they have a lot of ways to kite him and control him, but they had already used most of them on other heroes. So he's able to get a couple of quick kills, prevents Waga from really using his focus fire in that fight, and well, Empire still in this one. Storm is pretty farmed. Resolution, the most farmed here in the game, in fact, with the Orchid picked up. Although he may pay, he's gonna pop the regen rune, immediately balls out. Just able to get out of the clutches of Weeha before a Blink Crush could come out.
Yeah, or even a Rupture, which you know you can always ball lightning from, but he didn't have much mana to work with, so he could have only gone so far. But he's able to step back, and now he suddenly has full mana. He makes a committed dive, trying to finish off what he started with Weeha. Rupture is there, but it doesn't matter. The Blood Right is going to miss. Resolution now locked in place. They got the fissure. They're going to chunk him down. And the power shot not going anywhere as he slams down the log. And Resolution, you know, gets his own kill, but also importantly, creates the space. The rest of Empire, they're battling out with the big boy into the pit. And it looks like it could be a secured Aegis for Silent. As if it wasn't hard enough to bring him down once, now it's going to take twice. Oh, look at this. Yoku intercepts, catches out Vanscore in the neighborhood, gets the catch, self-disruption, but he's not able to bump out from the cogs, and that means a snowball's there to follow. They get the kill, they get the Roche. Empire feeling pretty damn good at this point as they go into the mid-game.
Yeah, first you look at that jump by Resolution top, you're like, that's a feed, what are you doing? And then you're like, oh wait, space created, easy Roshan, no contest whatsoever. And he manages to get the Slardar kill. He was a second late to ball, so the regen actually wore off. I think if it doesn't wear off there before he starts balling, then he might have enough mana to get away safely, but still, overall, a great trade. Storm and a kill in exchange for an Aegis, and then a third death here for Vanscore, who's kind of been running in on his own. The first time he died, well, it looked like he was expecting that Empire would back in anticipation of a counter gank from 4 Clovers, which they didn't actually prepare with the TP. Then Empire just kept on running at him and killed him, but these last 2 deaths, he's been played a bit over-aggressive and has to be careful, because you get to a point this game where Storm can just solo kill him from full HP, and we're already at that point if Resolution has good vision, potentially to be able to find that kill with the silence, so gotta be careful here to slow the game down a bit. The Storm and Wraithkane, the duo is starting to get out of control now. Very, very farmed.
Smoke flying out from Empire. They are on the prowl here. Closest
they
target
saw
being Wee. Are they going to commit for a long jump from Resolution? They're not. So now they converge towards bottom. Silent already moving in. He has plenty of lives to work with, so he's happy to start this party early. Here comes the rest of Empire. They're trying to position themselves. Weeha catches him and intercepts with a nice stun, but Bambo already about dead, able to run away from trouble with the help of his BKB. Silent still on his first life at this point. Gets the Rupture off. It's on Resolution. Resolution able to step in. They already take down 2 from the Clovers. They lose their Wyvern, however. Empire moves back in. They're going to easily finish off Vanscore. This doesn't cost Silent anything. He doesn't lose his life, not his Aegis, not nothing. So he goes back to chopping down the lane here, and there's really not much that 4 Clovers could have done. They were just in an awkward position, and Empire had already made their move.
Silent is just a siege tank. He just runs in, he's soaking up all kinds of spells, gets purged, constantly nuked. He ends up armlet toggling, doesn't even lose the Aegis, and they really don't have great solutions for him in the sense that like they just can't kill him quickly. Sure, they've got a lot of ways to control and kite him, but he's far enough ahead that doesn't really phase him too much. If he gets a lucky crit or 2 with the armlet, he's also able to almost immediately find a kill. They will try to gank him out here, though. He's got the Blade Mail ready, and Resolution's waiting to bait this, pops the Blade Mail. They're even going to Soul Catcher him, but that only means additional damage going the other way, potentially, but there's your Shackle. Finds Resolution, a big one that could turn this fight. It will. They find the kill at the bat, still Silent. Hasn't been dealt with, just needs a crit or 2 to deal with Vanscore. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, a nice Echo Slam from EGM, bringing him few low, but gets caught on the shards, and on the way out will end up impaling himself and falling down. Bambo again, barely able to scurry away, but not so lucky as Weehaw, who, despite being 10-2-6, is not particularly farmed. And on the other side of the fight, Yoki able to finish off an additional kill, isolating and ending Waga's life. It leaves Bambo as the last man standing. And Empire, I mean, it's not been the smoothest game for them, Dakota, but I think we're seeing that just how good this team can be. Even when they have a really kind of sloppy, poor start, they're still able to just slap each other on the backs and say, all right, let's go. Let's have an organized team fight, or even a chaotic team fight, but let's just fight as a team. And it seems like they're starting to find their stride here around the 23-minute mark. Credit
to the one true king. Silent here has been a machine.
Still has the
he is just, running behind the fight, chopping down these supports, easily rids of Van Score, tries to go for Waga next, and there's just nothing they can do. They're trying to ignore him, maybe save him for last, but if you're ignoring him, he's hitting him for these huge crits, and he's able to just easily armor toggle his way to avoid death. And yeah, he'd still have to be able to take him down twice. He's almost at level 16. He'll have that extra life every fight now. You can't ignore him, but at the same time, you can't finish him off.
Sometimes twice a fight. That's the really scary part, is if the Wraith King gets off 2 ultimates in a fight, and then he's got the final life where you hopefully kill him, that's where it's like, okay, we actually can't win fights anymore because we just can't burst this guy. And he's got 3k gold on top of almost being level 16. So buying Bank Score, caught out of position a bit. The 4-step forward, battery assault, easy takedown for Yoki. All set up by Silent again. He may get caught here on the side of the fight, though. Blood Right coming out. It's going to silence just Yoki. Silent sticking around, though. Has the age. Just how much longer does he have on this one? It's going to end soon. He's either got to go in right now or he's got to back away. But again, the ward's doing work. Resolution. Beautiful dodge of a potential crush from Weehaw. And now uppercut into submission. The Walrus Punch will finish him off. Aloha Dance and Bambo duking it out a bit. Looks like Bambo will win the man fight. No, does end up getting the kill, but he goes down regardless to the massive crit damage of Silent. Resolution securing the double kill, and only really getting support heroes. Clock at this point just there for the initiation and the control, and same for the Tusk as a true support. They just cannot kill the cores, Dakota, and it is really costing them.
Had Weehaw been able to get off that crush, maybe Waga would have lived to turn around, get off a shackle onto Resolution, which should have been a pretty much guaranteed pin with all those trees right there, and things could have been very different. But Resolution, as we continue to see through this game, just so quick-witted on this Storm Spirit. It's not his first rodeo, and well, because of that, he's able to just kind of juke and jive at his own leisure. And Empire now, again, another game where they kind of have a bit of a lackluster start, and it's 4 Clovers taking these fights. Empire just stay cool, calm, and collect, and now they're coming out on top.
Waga just used Wind Run to head towards this top lane. This might be where Silent looks to jump him, but and he's like, well, I may be the one true king with potentially 3 lives, but I'm literally 1v5 if I go in there. So he'll play it safe. He's going to start farming the enemy Ancients, and either that Mjolnir or Assault Cuirass likely coming soon. Big pickup inbound for him. Let's see. Has he bought anything else? Yeah, already has the plate mail, so he gets the AC here, and that is going to go a long way towards dealing with the Slardar. We've seen 2 games now where there's a lot of minus armor from 4C, but 2 games as well where Empire are going to get a fairly timely Assault Cuirass to deal with it.
Oh, Van Score getting hit. No crit, fortunately for him, but he gets a self-disruption. Shards fly out. Blood Right Silent on the run, but the snowball is going to be charging on forward just with Aloha Dance. They get the finishing blow onto your Shadow Demon. They also manage to get the quick wipe, a return kill. Yoku jumping on in, looking to go for Sexy Bambo. Gets a BKB up, but it might be too late. Can they still get him down? They can. Silent moving right back in. Finally, they're able to bring him down at least once. Nice little blink, avoids the bolt stun, but look on the back lines. You got Weehaw here, looking to go on forward, but a nice little imprisonment. Can't finish off always off. Oh, now gets it with the stun. Now looks to go for Yoku. 2 split-up fights as they're able to also finish off Waga on the other side. Weehaw now stuck at his lonesome potentially. Does get the finishing blow on your Clockwork. A double kill for him. He continues to head north. Has his sprint. Has blink in 5. Goes for the TP. Silent doesn't want to bother. On the other hand side, they're able to scout out EGM. Resolution. No mana, though, to pursue. And it looks like when the fight is done, it will be a 3-for-4 trade. Well, they're counting what looks like the first kill of the Wraith King, so technically a 3-for-3.
They are running 3 melee heroes, and I mean, a Wyvern who's mostly just there for the crowd control. Oh, Silent gonna get caught out. He does his ultimate in 2 seconds. He doesn't get it off in time. It wasn't cooled down. Oh, goodness gracious. That makes it a 3 for 5 and a devastating kill to give away there. You know, just when you start to praise them and say, okay, Empire pulling it together now, showing why they were a direct invite to TI and one of the strongest teams, they get a little clowny, Dakota. I have to say, this is a really bad place to fight for Empire. They first jump in the Wraith King here. He's almost killed the Shadow Demon solo. Then they snowball and hookshot the Clock Tusk into this little death zone. And meanwhile, Wind Ranger's just sitting across the way, laying into them with power shot, shackle shot, getting the focus fire off. They ultimately kill her, but that was just a very awkward type of position to take the fight in. And does end up costing them is it'll be always want to fly next on the list. Good follow-up shackle there from Waga on the back of Weeha's Crush, and a 6th kill, 6-3 in the last, 2-3 minutes or so, favoring 4 Clovers, and right back in it now.
They get a long jump on EGM, but there's another fight also breaking on the northern side. They get the finish on EGM, but for this fight, a snowball on 4, trying to avoid the damage. Uppercut to Waga. Looks like Aloha Dance will end up going down. Weeha makes a committed jump to finish off Yoku. The Clockwork going to get dropped. Makes it a 3-for-1 trade. Resolution, who made that jump, going for the EGM pick. Now almost caught himself. He's able to ball lightning away from trouble. Pretty low on mana here if they could somehow catch up. Weeha certainly wants to. He's sprinting on in. Now he's out of mana, but this time he might have just been too far.
He's going for this.
He's hungry. Whoa, man, the stun somehow connects. He gets a bash, a double bash, and the kill. Mega kill streak for Weeha. What the hell?
No teleport scroll, otherwise he just balls and TPs, but he didn't have it, and that makes it 3 more deaths. They just keep on piling up for Empire. What is going on this game? First it's 4 Clovers just dominating. Looks like Empire looks lost. Then they make a great comeback, and now it seems to go the other way, although perhaps Vankscore overextending a bit here. Does have some backup. Looks like they're going to move as a unit, and in the end, Empire not able to really find any retaliation. What a topsy-turvy game it's been. I'm just looking at these graphs. And
oh, got that creep with a big uppercut, but they didn't get EGM. Well, they might still, though. They charge on in. They manage to stun him up with the bolt from Silent, and it looks like EGM just desperate, drops the totem, gets an echo off as his exclamation point, but ultimately will perish. Weeha was nearby, maybe thinking about a go, but will be scouted from the sigil, and, well, Empire able to at least claim 1 life after that ridiculous scurry from before. 34-32, and with those couple of big picks and fights for 4CL, only a 2,500 net worth difference between Empire and just breaking even once more. But Roche is up. Empire know this. They move in, and they get it started. R4 Clover is going to be able to contest this. It looks like they want to step back for a smoke, but it's going to be too late.
Do they try to take a fight anyway? They're still quite strong with the BKBs. Maybe they try for this. They are hiding on the high ground here. Could look to just pop this Aegis real quick, and they've got vision on Resolution, Dakota. His team's nowhere in the neighborhood. He also doesn't have a teleport scroll. This could actually be 2 deaths for Resolution. Blink, Crush, Amp to start. They should be able to follow this up. The bash is there. Shackle comes through. They get the first kill. Using Focus Fire to secure it, and now they've got the Blood Right waiting. This could be a really big double takedown. It is. Doesn't even get off the Bloodstone deny, and it's just right back for Clover, quickly able to equalize things and take away that Aegis advantage.
They have so much vision in their own woods. I see 4 wards nearly congested between the Roche Pit and where their bottom tier 2 tower was, that if Empire get cocky, try to hang out in their neighborhood, they'll have an idea where they are. And Silent able to avoid trouble with the blink, but they follow it up. Weeha catches his own stun and blink. And now Silent does have that secondary life. Doesn't pop his Blade Mail yet. Now we'll commit for it there. Step back stun onto EGM. Meanwhile, Yoku jumps in and intercepts, trying to make it go into Vankscore. Now Waga unleashing the right-click focus fire, but nice save does come out. Always want to fly. But, okay, on the other side,
they can't kill him.
This fight being split right apart. Now they're finally able to bring him down with the first life here. Yoku could be in trouble. Clockwork getting a lot of the damage, and he will end up being dropped. Dominating right now for Waga. Disruption, Empire, Resolution shows up. Glimmer Cape save for Vankscore. He's trying to retreat to the south to make it out. Resolution waiting for where he will appear. Scouts him, sees him, gets the kill. So they end up making it a 2-for-1 at least. The rest of 4 Clovers just happy to make it out with that bit of an advantage. but still continues to give him an edge as far as the trade in gold and XP.
That it is really hard to kill Silent, though. You can really see the plus armor of all three of these items. Give him armor, right? The armlet, the blade mail, and especially the AC. He's up to 34 armor. It looks like at this point. That makes him tough to take down at this stage of the game. And at the same time, though, Waga is going to get to the point where he can probably chew through that regardless. But I think it's getting to that stage where Silent's going to need a BKB. There are some ways to deal with him still. The Purge, the Rupture, and of course the Bash. But he's just getting kited the entire fight. Shackled, disrupted, bashed and stunned.
Going for Bambo top. He already used the blood, right? But Resolution's the one who's caught out. Weehaw once again shows up from the dark, gets the stomp. And I guess it turned out to be a beautiful bait that was unintended from Sexy Bambo, but Resolution dropped what's more. Suddenly, 3 charges on his Bloodstone.
Yeesh. He hasn't. I don't think he's gotten off a Bloodstone deny either this game. It's generally it's just the pickup on Storm, but it feels like he hasn't gotten much value out of the item this game. Very rare to see that. And this could be trouble. That definitely needs the BKB now on Silent. There's a halberd all of a sudden afoot for Bambo, and it honestly feels like the Wraith King's the only one who can really sit in the middle of the fight. Everyone else just melts to the amp damage, the follow-up physical damage, and that's where you need a Wraith King who can be right-clicking and actually be a threat. So I imagine BKB will be the next choice for Silent, but even then, I still feel like, as mentioned, there are still quite a few ways to deal with him, and it's only going to give him a fighting shot at best. We're kind of getting to that point where might be Always Want to Fly, who has to somehow be the savior with the Winter's Curse. I wouldn't say this lineup falls off, but it just gets more difficult for them to execute as the game goes along, with just so much AoE, ways to just completely control and interrupt the fights, the Fissure, the Shackle, Crush, yada yada. So I think pressure's starting to mount on Always Want to Fly to find that big Winter's Curse.
And it's not like this Winter Wyvern could just get his favorite prized Glimmer Cape item. You're going against a Slardar who will probably be amp damaging to the target who's being focused. So it seems almost like a useless grab at this point. So he steps off. He's got a Force Staff instead, and that potential to get the extra save just is not going to be there. So that's where the Slardar feels like a very nice touch in this particular game. Resolution, long jump, keeping pressure here on the bottom lane, but you can say the same for 4 Clovers here at the top. They're just still waiting to see if anyone's going to rotate to this top lane, but that's not happening quite yet. Empire busy working with both the mid and bottom. It's just, it feels pretty split down the middle at this point, LD, and I'm curious what is going to take it to the next level for either of these teams. Which team is going to really look to push on forward? The aggressive behavior seems to be coming out more so from the side of Empire, but the counterfight capability from 4 Clovers has been, for now at least, second to none.
Right now, 4 Clover just sitting back a bit. They haven't got the best vision in their own woods, which is where Empire's mostly been parked, as you mentioned. Even when the 4 wards were there, that didn't stop them from trying to take over the enemy jungle. We'll see 4 Clover sitting back a bit more, and Empire, I think, content to wait for the next Aegis more than anything. The Storm really needs it. He goes plate mail now, worried about all the physical damage coming his way, but it's still 1 crush and he's probably dead to the follow-up, so I think they wait for the next Aegis, and then they look to use that to find a pick-off and maybe even force a high ground siege. It's always dangerous, though. You got to worry about the counterplay buybacks that could come from 4 Clovers, even if you get that pick. And, well, maybe they don't wait fully. They're actually going to smoke here, heading towards the bottom side of the map where 2 heroes are waiting. They are more of the supports, I would say, not the biggest kills, but getting 2 for no would be huge. And, do they get any?
Oh, they're going to make a go onto Tusk. Clockwork is also still there and behind. He didn't get off the amp damage in time, but there he is. Disruption. Same time as the Shackle shot. They will try to follow it up with a stun, but he avoids it with a snowball and a blink away. Aloha Dance really making him sweat for this one. They finally do bring him down. The Clockwork did make it out, so they only get the one support at the cost of this smoke and rotation, and this does leave Silent to kind of chop away at this tier 2 top. Now, it does look like 4 Clovers are going to be rotating in. He does obviously have the second life. He's persistent. He wants to get this tower. Stun out in Weehaw here. Winter Wyvern there as a safety net just in case, but he's eating a lot of that damage from the Purge, and even his own illusions doing work. Gets the Cold Embrace save. Now comes the jump from Yoku with the Clockwork. Weehaw already popped out his BKB. Resolution jumps in, gets shackled, going to get locked from a little bit of Focus Fire, but is able to clean up Vance with the kill. And now he decides to jump back in. Bambo charging on forward. Now they're on the retreat, but Weehaw looking to move in. Here's Silent, though. Big stun. Trying to chop away onto Weehaw here, but he gets his own crush. Resolution could go down, will go down. And with that, that leaves a lone little Winter Wyvern. Easy pickings for him. Silent at his own here, trying to get something before he goes down. Will get dropped. The second life should be there to follow. And it looks like it's going to be 4. Taken down all day. The only one not participating, Aloha Dance, who was killed previously. So technically, it was a full 5-man drop across the whole map at the expense of only their Vanscore Shadow Demon.
I don't know what to make of this game anymore. There's just nobody who can seem to maintain a clear lead, and all of a sudden, that off-lane Bloodseeker that had such a terrible start, your leader in net worth for the Radiant side, Bambo, has ever so quietly clawed his way back into relevance, and now 3,500 gold deep in the bank. He could get that first damage item of the game and really start to become a problem for Empire. I just feel like Empire have not been able to find good fights lately. They haven't gotten a big Winter's Curse. The Tusk gets picked up bottom, as you mentioned. Hook will come bottom, but do they have to follow up here? Bankscore pushed back by the Cog, self-disrupt. Again, going into 2 or 3 at a time, not really using the whole squad together. It's going to cost them Aloha Dance to a shackle, it seems. Not even going to try to save him. Always want to fly, had no ability to do much there. Would have had to walk in too deep for it, and will ultimately be forced to just Arctic burn over the cliffs and away to safety. But again, another takedown. And it will be the Basher, so the first heavy-hitting item coming out now for Bambo.
Really love the Halberd pickup as well on Bambo. I mean, you're looking at a Wraith King who is persistent in going extra damage as we see him finish out his MKB. No BKB. So he's going to be nerfed from doing any sort of right-click. 30-second cooldown on Halberd means he could do it on each of his lives as well, potentially, if he leads in with an early start of it. But finally they managed to finish off that tier 1 mid lane. The rest of his team scavenging, quickly dewarding. Looks like they might have a gem. They do on EGM back in mid lane. Disruption helping out Bambo here. Silent going to get locked in place with the shackle. Decides to double back. Weehaw, he's going to catch him on the way out, though. Thinks once about it.
They want the Wyvern here, but he's a bit too far back. I mean, it seems like everything's kind of building towards the raid boss Wraith King. They've gotten very utility on the Clockwork, which is normally what you expect. Gets the Solar Crest, the Vlads, trying to make him as much of a Superman as possible, but it's just tough for him to right-click stuff. You could give him 6 tier 4 items right now, and it's like, well, will he auto-attack anyone during the fights? I'm not sure. It just depends on if they get a good initiation. It's one of the weaknesses of Wraith King is he's very dependent in most games on his team to set him up for success. And if they can find the good Winter's Curse, the really excellent cogs, then I think it's an easy fight for Empire, or at least a manageable one. But without it, it almost doesn't matter what item Silent has. They'll finally get an Aegis, though, and this should go to Resolution. It'll give them 2 extra lives, actually 3 with the cheese. Pretty big pickup for this team.
We've seen this once before, though. Then Resolution likes to go bottom. That's where he got caught last time and lost his Aegis immediately thereafter.
This time his team's kind of body blocking it.
Yeah. Oh, the Invis is going to pop the smoke. He's able to quickly blink back away. Now they jump forward. They get the fissure. But they're kind of split apart here. One half making it go into Aloha Dance where Resolution is. The other half making it go for Silent at this point. They decide to double back. Weehaw's on the move. Waga's able to get the finishing catch on the Winter Wyvern. Big Echo. They're trying to lock in place Resolution, but the Snowball does sidestep it. Aloha Dance with the blink out. Weehaw locked into a battle cage here with Yoku, and now he's left out. 4 stacked away. Resolution charges on and looking at fishing him up. Nice Glimmer King with the save. Can they get him stunned? He's trying to walk out, but will not be able to blink to safety. Now it's Empire's time. They wipe out 3, and they continue on forward. Empire finally getting the fight they'd asked
Silent
for.
Here? Thought they might try to force Silent in, and then he could blink forward, go for that stun, but there would have been a a Glimmer Cape save potentially for Waga. Jesus, what a bloodbath this game has been. They end up losing the Wraith King ult, no big deal, it'll cool down in time for the push, and cost them a Wyvern as well. They still hold the Aegis Cheese, and they're going to have the Wraith King ultimate up. So they've still got the extra 3 lives, and there's no buyback on Slardar. Dakota Empire finally may have managed to crack this 4 Clover defense. They're going to smash towards this bottom tower. Glyph is available, not being popped at all. And now the stun onto Bambo. Let's see what they focus. Oh, they go for Bambo. The pull's there. The follow-up Walrus Punch. Shackle will latch a beautiful one from Waga. Needs a little more pop. The Fissure hits 3, but well, cheese, and they dive, and they'll smack that Wind Ranger down. Ginger out of the game. Empire looking now for the melee racks. Looks like they'll get it here, even through the Glyph. Going to be hard to hold this one, and finally having the numbers advantage. It feels like that's what they've been lacking for so many fights. 45-38 your score. About 2 kills a minute after a fairly slow game one. This has been explosive and violent. A thing of beauty to watch for Dota fans. They're going to chase Bank Score back towards the well. Resolution, though. Snowball's there. It's going to roll him right on top of basically nothing. Now the crush. It's on 4. Oh, Empire. They crumble to this. 3 down off the bat. They're going to lose the Aegis. Do they lose the Storm again? He balls away. Wraith King blinks out. Tried to salvage this fight. And can Silent make it out? The amp comes through. He gets off the stun. He's just going to turn and man fight. But there's way too much control. He'll die a second time. And with that, 4 Clover sort of hold. They lose racks, but they get a lot of gold back their way to conclude that fight. And they also managed to take away some of those extra lives Empire had. No more Aegis, no more cheese. Still an open ball game.
Oh, are they done though? They're charging. Quick ball lightning away from what could have been a Weehaw jump in stun. But they're persistent here, maybe feeling that Silent, no buyback, out for still a minute. They're going to get what they can, even with their bottom lane now deceased and still kind of pushed in. This is their time. They're going to charge it from the top. The one thing we haven't seen yet from 4 Clovers, they're able to take maybe a fight after fight, and then a fight after that one, but there hasn't been too much objective follow-up thereafter. This is maybe the first time
has no buyback, because he tried to buy his BKB. He's up in 30. Can they hold? This is the question. They do have a Glyph available, but Creeps have joined the lane. Are they going to Glyph now or hold it just for the racks? It seems they're going to hold it. Tower is being, or rather the Creeps are pushing a bit bottom lane, and so far so good here for Empire. It looks like they should have this Wraith King up in time. Next creep wave too far away. He gets away with going for the BKB. That was kind of close. If he's dead in like another 10 seconds there, I think they lose a range racks potentially, but they'll make it up in time and to be a-okay.
Yeah. Also would have been nice if 4 Clovers were able to catch Resolution, if they could have taken him down 2 times. He still would have been able to buy back, but he would have been nerfed from all the extra gold he currently has now. So with it, they're just forced to step back with the disadvantage they still got. Empire got to be feeling pretty damn good. So on that feeling, they smoke up, and they're going to rummage through their own territory here. Not going to be catching out anyone from the side of 4 Clovers, but if they want to converge and maybe make a secondary push towards the top-end side of the base, they could certainly do so. They know that the buyback is down for at least Waga at this point. There still also is not going to be one on Bambo, oh no, they do have one on Weehaw at least. So this is going to be interesting here. They certainly are going to need to hold, but Empire, they go to the mid lane. They want to get this tier 2 finished.
They have the Rex advantage here, but it also feels like this game is still very fragile. You've got so much push on both sides. And with the AC up on the Wraith King and the MKB, he hits very hard. You've also got the Wind Ranger Focus Fire, Blood Rage, which helps you push quite a bit. One really bad fight for either team could cost them a lane of racks and either make it an easy snowball for Empire or even things up for 4 Clover. But here comes the jump. Silent with the quick initiation. Will BKB. Resolution leaping forward. Now the hook. Yoki going in deep on the Waga and trying to turn this one. Is the Shaker. Gets up an Echo, but it does little. Shackle not going to manage to latch on Resolution, who should have the opening. And now Silent rushes in again. They just can't touch his majesty. Disruption used defensively, but they've lost the Bloodseeker. No Abyssal Blade available. He didn't actually get it off during the fight, and now a triple for the King. He wants a bit more. Crit! Where is it? Doesn't quite find it. The Shaker, he gets the Ultra! Silent, can it be a Rampage? Doesn't have anyone else to kill.
Oh,
or
he
does
actually
he?
jumps back. He's going for Wee here. He gets the uppercut. Can he get the extra bit of chop? The Glimmer Cape will save him. Shackle Shot also to be coming out from Waga, but still, nonetheless, a huge fight for Empire. They might just go back and square off for this Tier 3 tower and push in. They're going to be down 3 on the side of 4 Clovers. Without a buyback, it's just Weeha and Waga to try to defend this one at their own. It doesn't look like it's going to be happening here. Weeha with a jump in. Nice sidestep from Resolution. Forces out the BKB now from Wee. Wee tries to chop at the King, but realizes that he might be outmatched in that. So has to step back. It looks like their racks are going to be falling here. There's a nice brief shackle, stun follow-up, but with BKB down, Resolution finds his target, jumps in, going to get the Glimmer save, but just delaying the inevitable. Does
He
have a
really is
buyback,
a raid
but
boss.
I don't think there's going to be the comeback dream here for 4CL, and it looks like Empire going to be able to walk away with a 2-0. Not a dominating 2-0, though, I'd have to say, that we were expecting from Empire.
Yeah, I mean, give this 4 Clovers team credit. Oh, Maxtor. Well, no credit in this death. He'll just get wrecked by Resolution, and the rest of Empire able to scatter back. They do buy back on the Slardar. Up 2 lanes of racks, but not completely over yet, as Bambo will try to find the Storm. Bloodstone denies there. They do have a Winter's Curse, though. This could go poorly if 4 Clover groups up too much. Always want to fly, still holding it. They lay into Silent, who still has the ultimate available. Now they drop the Curse onto Bambo, but glimmered to safety. Looks like there's no detection here. Now the chase forward. Silence gets dropped. They will bring down Always Want to Fly, and now the turn. The uppercuts there. They finish him off. Weeha blinks forward, but it's into Cogs. Aloha Dance still sticking around. The Wraith King actually went down there. Didn't get off the ultimate. Must have run out of mana because he had the cooldown, and it ends up being a triple kill for Weeha. Still, though, this base is in shambles. The throne is being poked and prodded by creeps, and soon the catapult will arrive to really dish out that extra damage. 8 heroes dead simultaneously. Not something you see all that often.
Silent is too greedy. He got stuck between him and Waga just focus fired him down, and Silent stunned him just to help get the last crit kill, but because he stunned him, he couldn't come back for a second life, so hungry for the kill, but could have just waited a bit and had his second life to work with, but oh well. Silent.
I was like, you know, he must have done something, because he definitely had the ultimate mana, and there's no mana burn here, but yeah, like you said, he's feeling like he's God at this point, and well, even gods can bleed in this game. He does pick up the Moon Shard now, though. This is where Wraith King starts trucking. He can kill a lot of supports just with a single blink stun. Does he consume it here? I guess he probably consumes.
If you want to have a TP handy, I suppose it would be.
Even a TP is a challenge. He's got to consume it and then replace his treads. I imagine if he wants that.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
It's a first world problem.
Won't have the money for a buyback, but I don't think Empire are too worried about that. Up 2 sets of racks, only down 1 tier 3 at their top lane. And it doesn't seem like in the near future 4 Clovers are going to be able to trek to the other side. I say that, but it looks like they might just smoke and make the jump out. The little potato dreamer gives them a little bit of a puff. And now they are on the move here, but they're going to be welcomed by Empire, not that far out from their own front door. They get the catch-all dance with a quick blink. Still going to get ruptured. Now goes for the snowball, waiting out, avoiding the blood right. Gets the uppercut off onto Bambo, who already has his BKB pop, but you have yet to see His Majesty grace the battlefield. Resolution going for the backliners, and look at that Moon Shard, chunk it down, Bambo. Now Weeha able to get the kill. They wipe out the supports, but now it's the real cores working. Weeha has to get the hell out of there. Does not like what he's dealing with. Going on the retreat, blink forward, chop to the ass. You're dead. Quick sushi made up from the Slardar one, and that's game.
This was an absolute bloodbath. It'll end with an Echo Slam the way it began. Just spell after spell, constant just clusterfuck of action, and ultimately Empire, known for emerging victorious in these types of chaotic games, able to pull it out here. I think it's a combination of 4 Clovers showing a lot more promise than what people probably expected. I saw a lot of people say, oh, this is just a pub star team. You've got Bambo and Weeha on the same team. EGM, who's been a bit inactive lately. Wago hasn't played competitive in over a year, at least not on a major team. Sure.